Welcome to This Explainer. Today we're diving deep into the legacy of a guy who literally redefined what it means to be a professional athlete. I'm talking about Cristiano Ronaldo dos Santos Aveiro, or as the entire world knows him, CR7. Look, whether you track every single match or you just casually follow sports, you know the name, right? But today, we're going to look beyond just the name. We're looking at the staggering scale of his achievements, his relentless evolution, and the absolute global empire he built along the way. Buckle up because the sheer numbers we're about to see are, frankly, mind-boggling.
Okay, let's dive into this with a number that completely breaks the scale of modern football. 970 plus. That is the number of official senior career goals Cristiano Ronaldo has scored for club and country, making him the top goal scorer of all time. We aren't just talking about a great striker here. We are looking at the ultimate statistical outlier in the history of the sport. It's like every single time he stepped onto the pitch, history was practically guaranteed to be rewritten.
And hey, it wasn't just about his club dominance either. Check out this number, 233. As of 2026, that is his world record number of international caps for the Portuguese national team. To put that into perspective for a second, making just 100 appearances for your country, that's considered a legendary milestone. Ronaldo has essentially doubled that. It just showcases this totally unparalleled level of fitness, consistency, and pure dedication to his national team over more than 2 decades. Absolutely insane. Which brings us to the ultimate metric of success in any team sport, right? The silverware. 35 major career trophies, from domestic leagues to massive continental triumphs. His career has been this relentless accumulation of the most coveted prizes in football. But to truly understand how he reached this godlike status in the sporting world, we really have to rewind. We've got to look at where this whole story actually begins.
Section 1. The boy from Madeira. From humble beginnings to global icon, it is incredibly easy to look at the billionaire superstar of today and just totally forget the profoundly difficult circumstances of his early life. The contrast between his current global empire and his origins on the Portuguese island of Madeira is, well, it's nothing short of cinematic. Born in Funchal back in 1985, get this, his parents actually named him after US President Ronald Reagan, simply because Reagan was his father's favorite actor. But his path to greatness was incredibly unlikely from the absolute start. His mother has publicly revealed that, due to their tough circumstances, she initially sought an abortion, but a doctor refused. She later said, "God said no." From that fragile beginning on a small island, the young boy, who was actually nicknamed the Little Bee because he was always buzzing around the pitch, began a trajectory that would eventually take over the entire world.
Section 2. Conquering Europe and beyond. The evolution of a superstar.
Let's move to how this builds, because Ronaldo's career wasn't just a series of random transfers. It was a highly systematic conquest of global club football. His journey is a literal masterclass in constant elevation. Starting at Sporting CP in 2002, he very quickly caught the eye of Manchester United, making the leap there in 2003. And right off the bat, he demanded the number 7 shirt. That is a massive responsibility when you consider it was worn by legends like George Best, Eric Cantona, and David Beckham. But he thrived. In 2009, he made a world record transfer to Real Madrid, leading them to historic European dominance. Then came Juventus in 2018, and finally his monumental move to Al-Nassr in 2023, where he revolutionized Asian football and even led them to the Saudi Pro League title in 2026.
And this brilliantly illustrates the transformation he underwent. Sir Alex Ferguson, his legendary manager at Manchester United, famously noted how Ronaldo's game just constantly grew. He matured his decision-making until he became, in Sir Alex's words, the complete player. This wasn't just raw, natural talent, you guys. Even the Brazilian legend Ronaldo pointed out that while other players trained because they had to, Cristiano did it because he absolutely loved it. He meticulously engineered his own body and mind to stay at the absolute pinnacle of the sport.
Section 3. The ultimate goal machine, breaking every record.
So the crucial point here is that all of that intense preparation culminated in a legacy of totally untouchable milestones. When you look at the specific records he holds, you realize he didn't just participate in these competitions, he completely monopolized them. We're talking 140 goals in the UEFA Champions League, 146 men's international goals, over 1,300 professional appearances, which is the most by any outfield player in history. What you really should take away from this is his wild adaptability. I mean, Ronaldo is the only player in history to score 100 goals with 4 different clubs, and the first to finish as the top domestic scorer in the Premier League, La Liga, and Serie A. It literally didn't matter what country he was in or what tactical system he was playing under. The result was always exactly the same: goals. And of course, his hardware totally backs up those statistics. 5 Ballon d'Or awards, officially cementing him as the absolute best player in the world 5 separate times. 5 Champions League titles. For his beloved Portugal, he secured the UEFA Euro 2016 trophy and 2 UEFA Nations League titles in 2019 and 2025. Oh, and just to highlight his incredible longevity, by the time the 2026 tournament rolled around, he became the first player ever to score in 6 different World Cups. He has been at the peak of the sport for an entire generation.
Section 4. The CR7 Global Empire. Beyond the pitch.
But to only talk about football is to miss half the story. Ronaldo realized really early on that his immense on-pitch success could be leveraged into an unprecedented off-pitch brand. By 2026, Forbes officially solidified his status as a billionaire. Just let that sink in for a second. $1 billion. He has consistently been ranked by places like ESPN and Sports Pro as the world's most famous and marketable athlete. I mean, when he moved to Juventus in 2018, over 520,000 replica shirts were sold in just 24 hours. That generated over $62 million in a single day. His name alone is basically its own global economy.
Now, what's really interesting about this is the sheer duality of the man. On one hand, you have the relentless athlete, completely defined by extreme conditioning and pure sporting aggression. But running entirely parallel to that is this sprawling corporate mogul. We are talking about his Cristiano YouTube channel hitting 80 million subscribers shortly after it launched. We are talking about him becoming a major investor in Medialeave, a massive Portuguese media conglomerate. He's got his own CR7 fashion and fragrance lines and even became a co-owner of the Spanish football side Almeria. He plays the business world with the exact same intensity he brings to a football match.
Of course, it hasn't all been entirely flawless, which honestly just makes him a little bit more human. Back when his hometown renamed the Madeira airport in his honor in 2017, they unveiled a bronze bust of him that was, well, let's just say notoriously stiff. It was so bizarre looking that it became a massive global meme. It even got parodied on Saturday Night Live. They did eventually replace it, but it was just a hilarious reminder that even for a flawless billionaire icon, sometimes things don't go exactly to plan. Section 5. An unmatched football legacy. The end of an era. As Ronaldo's career enters its twilight phase over in the Saudi Pro League, we really have to look at the broader perspective of what his presence meant to the sport as a whole. You literally cannot tell the story of Cristiano Ronaldo without mentioning the player who pushed him to these stratospheric heights, Lionel Messi. But in late 2023, Ronaldo showcased a really deep self-awareness of his own legacy. After 36 official fixtures against each other and 15 years of sharing the absolute pinnacle of the global stage, Ronaldo officially declared, "The rivalry is gone." It was a profound closing of a chapter, right? An acknowledgement that both men had conquered the sport and changed it forever.
So we're left to look back at the totality of the CR7 phenomenon. And I want to leave you with this to really think about. With over 970 career goals, 35 major trophies, and a sprawling billion-dollar global empire, is the legacy of Cristiano Ronaldo a testament to pure innate footballing talent? Or is it actually the ultimate record of sheer, undeniable human willpower? Could anyone else have built this empire through hard work alone? Or will modern football truly never witness a player conquer the world quite like this again? Thanks for joining me on this explainer. Keep asking questions,